Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Kim, notice?
Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mail. A copy of the Township Committee to the Express Times, North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township bulletin board, and filing a copy with the Township clerk.
Roll call.
Brown?
Here.
Dean?
Here.
Spencer?
Here.
Marqueta?
Here.
Parsons?
Here. Please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Looking for a motion to open public comment.
Make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Invite anyone, member of the public, who'd like to come up and speak at the podium, give your name and address, and make your comments. Anybody looking?
I'm just going to be repeating over and over until I see it done. The goal of the project school shootings, as we before, all of you here, to please find and certify that school resource officers at our school children infected while they're in school. Keep coming up here. It's done.
Anyone else? Seeing none, look for a motion to close.
Make the motion to close.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. Looking for a motion to make payment.
I'll make a motion to make payment.
Anyone want a second?
I'll second it.
Any comments, questions, or discussion?
I did talk to her. She's going to double check to make sure that's not a duplicate.
Okay. Anybody else? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes, with the exclusion of mine.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Okay. Looking for a motion for the resolution for the reserve transfers. There's a list of them here from different accounts. Anyone want to make that motion? It's 2018-38.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any comments, questions, or discussions on the resolution? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Resolution 2018-39, dedication by Ryder. Resolution requesting permission for the dedication by Ryder for accumulated absences liability trust fund required by NJAC 5:30-15. Anyone want to make that motion?
Make the motion.
I'll second. Any comments, questions, discussions on
Could
that?
I just get a little clarity on what this actually is?
Okay, so last year we budgeted $5,000 put into an accumulated absence trust fund. This year you're putting in an additional $5,000 so we can start building up a reserve for that. This legally sets up the trust fund.
I recall now, since you started that. Okay. I'm good with that. Thank you, Kathleen.
Any others? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Resolution 2018-40, tax lien redemption for the listed two properties on the resolution. Anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second. Any questions, comments, or discussions on this? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. 2018-41 resolution, Safe and Secure Communities grants a resolution approving participation with the State of New Jersey Safe and Secure Communities Program administered by the Division of Criminal Justice, Department of Law and Public Safety. Anyone want to make the motion for this? I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any comments, questions, or discussions on it? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Resolution 2018-42, renewal of a liquor license. The resolution of the Township Committee of the Township of Greenwich approving liquor license for the 2017-2018 license term for the Bondi Bar. I'll make the motion. Anyone want a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, or discussion?
Where is this?
That's the vacant building, the old almond tree out here by the car wash. Have we been renewing this every year? What was the, what
It's
was,
an active license, they have to, I attached,
I saw the letter from the ABC, so everything was okay and approved from them on that?
yeah, that's the letter I attached to that, allowing us to renew the license. They had to go for a special ruling, and they got approval for
Right.
the special ruling for the license term. They're gonna have to do it again this year. They're in the process of
So-
contracting for sale, because they're gonna be contracting actually with the owners of the shopping center
Okay.
to buy all that.
Did you have any other questions on? Anybody else have any comments, questions? Roll call? Thanks, Ken.
Brad?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. Yes.
Spencer? Marqueta?
Yes.
Horstman?
Yes. And the last one, Resolution 2018-43 is the cancellation of taxes 2018 for the veterans exemption. Anyone want to make the motion for that?
Need a motion?
I'll second. Any comments, questions, discussions on that? Roll call.
Ron?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horstman?
Yes. Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the budget meeting minutes from January 20th, February 1st, February 13th, and February 29th. Does anybody see a reason why I should separate them? Okay, so I'm looking for a motion for all four approval. You want to make the motion?
I'll make it.
Maybe 1 second.
Actually, on, let's see here, February 15th.
Well, we're gonna make the motion first.
Okay.
So we need a second.
I'll
yeah.
second.
Okay, now questions, comments, discussion.
What day?
On page 2,
For what month?
February 15th.
We're not...
But that wasn't the motion.
Now, these are just for
Oh.
budget meetings now.
Got it, okay.
So you have none, or?
None.
Anybody else? Roll call?
Who seconded?
I did.
Brad?
Oh, Brad. Ron?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horstman?
Yes. Okay, now I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting February 15th. I'll make the motion.
You also have the 27th in here? 27th? Or is that a typo?
Oh, it's a typo. It should say 27 instead of 29. Okay.
So the agenda should say the 27th? The 25th?
Yeah.
The 29th
I
is
haven't
the...
changed the minutes. It's 27.
Okay. So the ones we just approved should have been
Yeah.
27th, not 29th?
Yeah, 27 is not bad.
Okay.
February.
But now I'm looking for a second for the February 15th approval.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments, questions, discussions?
Yes, on page 2, I believe it's Committeeman Spencer and Joe were working on the researching for the grants, not myself and Joe. I think it's a small, but,
Which grants, where's that?
what, on page 2, second line,
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
I believe, yeah, that's, Will and Joe most generally are working on that.
Yeah, Spencer.
So do we have to cancel the first motion, then do a motion as amended?
No, just
You
the
just-
motion that I'll make a change. It's a simple one. Just changing the name.
Okay. Well, then I guess you just do roll call?
Ron?
Yep.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horstman?
Yes. Okay. I'd like to make, Chief, you want to come up and do your monthly report?
Monthly report for February 2018, 1,274 repairs. High numbers. They're all kind of actually general. The average number, however, our arrests went up, adult arrests 14, juvenile arrests 2. Our traffic summonses went up from 120 last month to 217 for the month of February. Warnings went up as well, 246. 7 cases assigned to the Detective Bureau, 2 cleared. Fees collected, $147.65. And you have the overtime reports in your packet. The month of February, 48 hours of overtime, down significantly from last year. If you have any questions regarding the overtime reports, is there anything you'd like to be added to those overtime reports?
Yeah, I think you know pretty much how we wanted to track it, and you seem to be hitting it now, right?
Yes, to date, we're down from last year's overtime, 77.46%.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. And anything else? Everything else good in the department right now, or?
Yes, we're, as I said before, working still on those, computers to be put into the, newer vehicles. I've been meeting with, the gentleman this week, so I'm hoping to get that all rolling. Majority of that money's coming out of a county grant. The rest of the money was in, capital put in last year that you approved, so we'll talk the same thing in this, budget.
I got one question. Okay. First, I want to thank you, Chief, for coming to that meeting we had with the superintendent on the school safety. I appreciate it. I'd ask you at that meeting if you were able to join us in executive and give the town committee a briefing. Prepared to do that today?
Yes.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thanks.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the police department's monthly report.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion on the report? Roll call?
Wrong.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Horstman.
Yes. Paul, you're up.
Okay, the sheets are in the front of your book. I'd like to make a motion to accept the monthly court report.
I'll second the motion. Any questions, comments, or discussion? One thing while we're on this, we didn't really need to make contact with them.
Actually, I've been, yes, I've been looking to track down Dave.
Yeah, just let me know what dates and stuff we can start
Yep.
with them, okay? Anybody else? Roll call.
Wrong.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Horstman.
Yes.
And back on tab 4 is the monthly tax collectors reports. I'd like to make a motion to approve them.
You want a second? I'll second them. I'll second it. Any questions, comments, or discussions?
Brad, was she, Bonnie, able to give you all the paperwork that you were looking for?
Yes, yeah, I contacted her, and she was able to
Okay,
give me the backup of a couple of questions I had, so yeah,
got it.
thank you.
Anybody? Roll call?
Wrong.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Horstman.
Yes. Paul, you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay, Will?
Make a motion to accept the animal control's report. We had 12 calls for the month of February.
I'll second.
Any questions, comments, or discussions? Roll call?
Wrong.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Horstman.
Yes.
Joe, you want to do the DPW?
I don't wear any snow.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like, I've been working on the fuel management thing. I'd like to, have the Township Committee, to approve the Mayo Corporation to install the fuel management system with new diesel and gasoline pumps for the facility out there. The tanks will have to stay the original ones. They're the lowest quote to do all that work. We just have to do some concrete work when it comes time here in the spring, when spring gets here.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to do that.
So we'll move forward with that. Chief's office, as said, is complete. We'll be working on the window here before the weather breaks, get that done. Hopefully that will be all done for the secretary's office. We have a full window left over from the old court office that was here that we're going to install there. So when she's down there by herself, she's somewhat secured in the office. That's per the request. The building energy assessment, I met with Brett from Donnelly Energy, and that report is in your packet there. Just to brief summarize it up, to do the building here, and this is LED lighting, motion sensors, and all the offices except for the important corridors like the hallways and stuff. The total cost of that would be $26,244. They estimate the initiative amount, which they would get back from the state as a grant, would be $18,371. The township would have to come up with $7,800. With that being said, the savings of the annual savings, moving all the lights, all the offices to motion sensors, are estimated at $5,047 in the energy savings just by doing that part. It is lowering our usage by going to LED lighting and the motion sensors throughout the building. Now, I got a quote emailed to me early this week from them with solar. I want to meet with them. I'm not very versed in it, but they say their estimated project cost on that is about $525,000. That's this building. That's also, we looked at the pumping station and putting an array down there. But like I said, I'm not very versed in it, and I want to sit down and talk to them because I don't know what the savings is, what's the offset. They gave me some numbers there, but like I said, I'm not very versed in it. And Mr. McCosh, I met with him. He had his electrician come out. I haven't got nothing back from them. They were unaware of, they were just looking at solar. They didn't have anything on the rest of the initiative. Like I told them, we're talking green and talking about also cutting our usages also. So they were going to work on something and waiting to hear back from them on that energy audit from them. So that's where we stand right now, even with just this. And also, I believe it's not one, but two of the HVAC units, one of them being the office section, which is the original from 1975, 76 that was installed under this building, can be replaced in this. That's counted in this initiative in that cost. And the upgrades to the lighting in the building. So once we get the solar package all done, do the way out to see what to do. I did talk to Kathleen, and if we wanted to move on this in the energy initiative money that we have here, with nothing there to cover our part at this cost of $7,800, to have them come in and start converting this if we wish to move that way.
And they don't need we don't have to pay for the whole thing and wait for a refund?
No.
They're covered right from the word go?
They pursue that initiative and pay direct. I will get that clarified, but my understanding is that's what they would do, is they would pursue the initiative and be paid direct from the initiative to them.
And this is what we were talking about before too, right? That company?
Correct. That is one of the contacts that I have there from that company, from last week.
So after we pay $7,800 with the $5,047 back, it's only going to cost us $2,700.
Yeah, well, that would be the annual savings.
Yeah.
We all know what the electric bills are. Like I said, it's that. I know the big thing is with the sewer pumping station, that's all electric pumps down there. Get something going down there for that.
Was that broke out separately, Joe, by chance?
that?
The sewer pump, did
No,
they?
that's not broke out separately. Right now, they just gave me a mass bid with the solar
Okay.
stuff on there. That when it comes to that, we need to break it down. I'm sure we can break it down to that way. like I said, I just need to get more versed with the solar thing. That's a new area for myself. Okay, the only other thing here I see is, and I'm going to deal with open space on Monday about the mowing at Town Store Park and come up with some numbers and stuff. But I do have some concerns with the DPW only having one mower. I have one breakdown for a week where up to my butt in grass.
Literally.
Yes, so that's something to think about. And the only other thing under Buildings and Grounds is the status of the request for services for electrician and plumbing and HVAC contractor to have on bidded in RFQ or RFP or whatever it is to do something like that, to have them on call when we need, as we need for emergencies or small jobs. And DPWI, Scott Ferguson started on March 1st, and the potholes are starting to burst out. I got the guys to go out today and start making a list, and the warm materials plant will be opening Monday. So we're going to use hot patch and get them patched up right away. And year to date, 733 tons of salt and 881 tons delivered. So we got a little about 150 tons in storage right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Joe, you had an item here about the quote on the heating, the quote for DPW storage building? The heating?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I did get one quote. I got to work on a second one. $14,800 for the heating, putting the heating system. That's tank and everything. That includes a stainless steel fuel tank. This is a diesel fuel fired heating system since we have no natural gas in the lower section of the township. Propane would probably be way more. Wet diesel fuel also, because in the Morris County Co-op there is heating oil as part of the co-op, same as where we get our gasoline and fuel for the diesel machine and stuff. I think I need one more quote. I'm going to call another contractor and vendor, and hopefully we have something, 2 quotes that we can get something done.
Is that still covered on the fire stuff, or is heating separate?
As far as getting money back.
Yeah.
Joe and I reached out to the gentleman that was here that one night from the insurance company. He sent me back a very generic, this is what we've given you kind of thing. I was hoping to get more of a detailed statement.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to reach out to him and set up a meeting with myself, Joe, and him to go over. I want something in detail to see what we've put in for versus what we've received.
See if we can get some costs back on that. Okay.
Anybody else? Thanks, Jim. Yep.
Motion to accept the bid, or is,
Report.
report?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Any questions, comments, or discussion over the report? Roll call?
Tom?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marcy?
Yes. You done well?
Yeah.
Okay, Frank, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We received a bunch of bids for the leasing of the Greenbrier Farm up here. It's preserved farmland. So these are bids to, I guess, to lease it and to farm it. So I have to open it in public, and we have to accept the highest bid. So here we go.
Yeah.
I have that on the list on those.
Oh, want to announce who this one's from, Tim? You have it.
Oh, it's Jason Petty.
For their end.
This one is for, all right, Jason Petty would like to bid Greenbrier Farm, 98.2 acres, for the amount of $251 an acre, for a total amount of $24,648.20. River Hollow Farm, this bid's from Robert Santini, River Hollow Farms. The bid is for $326 an acre. They don't give a total, but it's $326 an acre. This bid's from Matthew Santini. This bid is for $276 an acre. And the last bid is from Robert Santini. And this is for $301 an acre. So the highest bid was
The highest bid is River Hollow,
River Hollow for
$326
an acre.
per acre.
Okay, so do we have to formally accept that, right? Do we have a motion? So I will make a motion to accept River Hollow bid for $326 an acre.
I'll second. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Nothing really, a question or comment, right?
The only thing is, the previous contract was $40 an acre.
Roll call.
Do we get a second?
Yeah, I second.
Oh, okay.
Mike. My business.
Crone,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer,
Abstain.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Marson.
Yes.
Okay, Thomas Stewart Park update. Everybody can see building's progressing. I see 4 walls and a roof, which is nice. Mike, I'll let you update us on any other significant things you may want to.
Sure. Well, activity has resumed, as we all can see, and as you just summarized. It's nice to see that we have a building. We've been, again, the focus of the work recently has been with the concession stand primarily, and Messrs. Zagoda and Fornicari have really been dealing more with Bob Sampson on that, me a little bit on the periphery. I have spoken with Bob on finishing up and moving forward, and as far as all the other items, there's obviously sidewalk, there's more walking paths to construct, there's county road improvements, of course. We had a meeting, in fact, last week with the county to review the county road improvements, and it was requested theirs that they just wanted to have call it a pre-construction meeting relative to strictly their road and those improvements. Chris Neiman has been hired by Bob Sampson to do the work. I think Chris is going to do it. Chris is All Image Asphalt, his name is his company, he's a local contractor, and typically does a nice job. Chris is a good contractor. So, we're looking at probably beginning of April to get started. May want to make sure, obviously, all the asphalt plants are open for business. And Joe, that was interesting. Chris Nemeth, at this meeting I'm referring to, said that this was last Friday, I believe, that he had heard April 2nd was when there weren't...
Bob Hummer emailed me with the prices and everything, said Monday.
Well, they're open Monday? Okay, they're starting early. In any event.
But I said that one meeting that they were opening early too. Last meeting we had.
Yeah,
They're
but,
open to
I when this guy said it, I know he's totally tapped into all the contractors, so I just assumed he said it was going to be April 2nd, which makes sense. I mean, it's, still, relatively early enough in the season. So, you got, obviously, the concession stand moving forward. You have the balance of the other site improvements that have to be done, primarily, again, the walking paths, the sidewalks, and the county road improvements. So, I would expect this next month will be lots of stuff going on. Let's hope so. I mean, we'll get
closer to being finished. I have also spoken with Jeff CRC of Earthworks a few times recently. He is planning on very soon coming out. He's got basically two things to do for him to get closed. One of those is what was referred to as those KIFCO, those irrigation units have to still be installed, and the regrading of the one field, which has the undulation and some rock removal from the inspection I did, well, now it's last year with Mr. Spencer and Mr. Bean. So that's hopefully within the next couple of weeks that'll get done as well. We are actually staking out the sidewalk tomorrow, so it's the sidewalk and the pad around the concession stand. So that'll be nice actually to get that concreted in. I sent out a letter a few days ago regarding postal change orders, of which you saw my recommendation. I would recommend that we speak on that in executive. There's also the question of a bill submitted that I need to speak with you on. And I apologize for the late nature of this discussion. However, a lot of it depended on the percentage we were going to agree to pay Mr. Sampson relative to the concession stand. And that ended up, and we didn't get the bill till last Friday. That ended up taking, really, until today, with discussions with Mr. Sampson, Mr. Zagoda, and Mr. Fornicari to try to come up with a fair number. So I want to present that to you in a little more detail also. So that's the long and short of it with the park, unless anybody has any other questions.
Do we have the playground marked out?
No, not yet. That's just very quick. Yeah, we can do that within hours of notice, to be honest. But,
They're coming in April, right?
yeah, like the beginning mid.
Yeah.
No, and I've been talking to Mark Fornicari, always get confusing, about that. We're aware that we got to do it. He's kind of just waiting to see when the best time is to get out there. Yeah. So, no, we cannot.
Looks like we're gonna get volunteers to spread the mulch. So we're looking good.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of mulch.
So everybody up here be ready.
Yeah. Ready back first.
They got the machine, so no.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Mike. And the Open Space Committee is reconvening on Monday, so I'm sure we'll have a lot more information by then. Historical Commission, there was some back and forth on how it was established, whether or not they need a town account. Just, if you're the one that you want to just quickly brief.
Well, they need a town account.
Yeah.
The ordinance created the Historic Commission, so I suspect what happened was somebody, because they had to have incorporated the 501c3 in order to take donations, which I think they did. That might have been the precursor. I don't know if they incorporated. We have to get more information, basically, the bottom line. But they are an organization created by the town. I believe there was a separate organization created, might have been created before the town adopted that ordinance in 2004. So, yeah, the Historic Society. So, but, which is what they incorporated outside of the town. So anyway, we got to figure it out. But at the end of the day, they're a commission of the town of Greenwich, and so they're going to have to run those finances through the township.
All right. Let us know. Okay, so at the second reading for the, for ordinance, 2018-01, an ordinance of the Township of Greenwich, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing chapter, what's that number? 16, XV1, entitled Zoning of the Greenwich Township Code Ordinance to provide regulations for accessory building setbacks in residential zones. So I need a motion to
Open public hearing.
open public hearing.
I'll make the motion to open it.
Second.
Okay. Anyone wishing to come up and make any public comments or questions about the adoption of this ordinance are welcome to come up and speak at the microphone.
Yeah, just briefly, it's regarding accessory building setbacks for
Sheds and things like that.
sheds and things like that. It was now based on, I think, is it acreage, Mike?
Lot size.
Lot size, yeah. So,
Proportional to lot size.
yeah, it's proportional. It's not blanketed depending on the type of area. Yeah. Okay.
Need a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Now we need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2018-01.
You want a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions, comments, or discussions? Roll call?
Brown?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes. Brad, you're up.
Okay, Frank and I met with Superintendent Eppolite, Chief Plummer, and Detective Laughlin at the school on March 1st, I think it was Thursday. We had a meeting, we just went through some questions just to kind of get an update on school security, what's going on at the school there, what concerns they had in light of recent events, and discussed a whole litany of different items, in which more detail, Chief will give us some details on that in the executive session, but there's a lot of different things to consider, but there's nothing concrete as far as there's no decisions or anything made during that discussion. It was just more of like a formal gathering to get a better sense of what's currently in place and what opportunities there are to improve it. And that was basically the meeting.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the subject matter, we really can't discuss a lot of what was said in the meeting. So I'll put that out there, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, not hearing a lot about what was said.
No other update on school. And for rec, quick update is the Easter egg hunt is Saturday, March 24th at 11 a.m. at the elementary school. I'm sure there'll be lots of candy given out to the kids that they'll find. Not that they need any more. I don't have any other updates.
Okay. Mike, you got your quick engineer's report?
Well, unfortunately, we have to talk about the one thing in particular. Okay. The roadway resurfacing program, what we're going to do this year is kind of tied into a couple things that I'll speak of in a minute with my report. So, we're just dwelling on that individually until the budget gets adopted and we have a number. It's all moved. I know what you're trying to do. What's the...
Didn't make it here.
And what's 2 months or so to maybe? Oh, okay, well, 2 months, okay, fine, good. All right, that's the number I was aware of. Okay, the OU2 project, the water main extension project, still on schedule, we're still working with Arcadis. There's some tree removal going on, there's very little that's really affecting Greenwich.
So you had a big trailer next door.
Excuse me?
You had the big trailer next door already.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, next to the,
Legion?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's a construction trailer there.
Oh, I missed it completely.
Yeah,
I
it's all-
must have blinded one eye, I guess. So yeah, obviously the Legion is going to be their home base, and they still expect to start mid-April. I'm waiting to hear about the pre-construction meeting, so keep you posted, but all signs are that it is a go. And I did get, and now I'm going to speak as actually an impacted resident. I did just get a letter from Rio Tinto just within the last week that did, for the first time, I guess, firmly acknowledge the fact that you can keep your well if you want to connect. However, it's only for specific, it's got to be just for a separate exterior use type of thing. You can't have cross-contamination, but that, I'm sure, I would think, would go for the people that might have still been on the fence of what they were going to do, that maybe it'll make them change their mind. So that was a very different position than has been the case since we've been talking about this project. So, very soon we're going to see some activity around town. Okay. Back to the park, one thing I forgot to mention, and this was disappointing, I sent an email out to everyone the other day. I did the bid opening for the alternate bid items, those items being landscaping and seating. There were alternate bid items in the original contract for Phase 2. They were not awarded to Sampson. We figured we'd put them out as separate bids this year, which we did, and we got 0 on both. Which,
When did they go out?
they went out a month plus ago, well, sometime.
I wasn't aware they went out.
Yeah. Bid opening was Tuesday. Now, one thing, and we had people pick up the bids, of only 2 contractors for each. So it wasn't like, we have 10 people pick up the bid. One thing I found out, whatever explains why one person didn't bid. They came to the office, and we basically told them we would overnight mail them the bids, which we did. Apparently that was a snow day, and this was weeks and weeks ago. The bids never arrived there. Of course, you don't have to send her, you don't know, you assume the stuff gets to its recipient. So they never got the bid at all, which is just an unfortunate, weird quirk, the fact that, they were sent out and never made it there. So that explains at least a little bit of it. My recommendation would be, before we run out of time of the year, that you authorize us to put them out again. And, when hopefully we can award a contract at next month's meeting before it starts getting too warm.
What's the requirement if we don't have the bids come in for the first time? Are we required to go out to bid again, or
No.
is this something we can do through a quote?
You gotta do it another time right now, the option is, I think, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have 1 or 2 options. Either you don't do anything, or you go out to bid again. Now, if either we reject all the bids next time, or we don't get any bids, then we can start negotiating, correct, Mike?
Right, did twice,
Right.
I don't get any response.
Right. So,
Twice with no responses.
Right, correct.
But if you get a response the second time,
That doesn't count as if you get a response, it's not acceptable, or it exceeds that's a response, so you have to do it 3 times, I guess. You have to do twice with no, if you get one and you get a response, and you do it again, because you can still.
You kind of show your cards after the first time, nobody put it in.
Well, it
Next
happens.
time.
Well, you know what, we go through that analysis, and sometimes you put it out again, and sometimes you get high, sometimes you get lower. You just never know what you're gonna get,
Well, I did speak to one contractor that never even saw it, slipped right by him. So they may very well, once I made them aware of it, that if you're going back out, they may very well put a bid in.
well, I received a fax today from a contractor.
There you go.
Which was interesting, that said, Mike, please forward me the bid spec. And I'm thinking, well, it's late. I don't know, it was weird, but, I mean, at least there was a show of interest, for lack of
So what are we doing now? Do we want to do a motion to re-advertise? Do we want to do nothing tonight, or we're kind of urgent,
Members of
right?
the
We
Open
gotta,
Space Committee, would you think we should do this again, no? We should go out to bid again? I mean, we
I think
want-
you gotta do it as soon as possible, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
How
I
long,
know.
what's the minimum time it has to be open?
10 days.
I'll double check that, I thought it was 30, but.
No, there has to be,
You have to out and advertise and have it be out before you. There's 10 days
Before you-
between an ordinance, first reading and second reading.
no, it's not,
Well, I'll double check it.
It's definitely not
That's not my
30 days.
recollection that it's 10
okay,
days.
okay.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
then
He may be right, I'm
he's
just
the
saying.
boss,
that's not-
no, that's his call. But
No, he may be right, I'm just saying that was my,
I guess, I agree, Frank, we should do it. I just think we put it out for the minimum number of days to get a quick turnaround. I don't want to have it some period of time.
Agreed.
we can talk tomorrow, because it's the same spec.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy,
Yeah.
Make some
let's
phone
say
calls.
hypothetically, if we come up with a time tomorrow, like, you know, we can get it to the paper tomorrow afternoon, the ad. It'll be in, let's say, worst case, Tuesday's newspaper, which is what, that's the 20th, I guess? You know, so,
Yeah.
we could, that, if you go by the Mike Finley clock, you know, we're into the beginning of April with the bid open.
Still have time.
Yeah, so.
you have anything else, Mike?
What do you need, a motion?
Well, I'm just going to wait until the end of his report, and then we'll do that.
Okay, you want to do, okay. Yes, as happy to report, we received a DOT grant this year, for Washington Street, Stewartsville Road, in the amount of $155,000. Last one we got was for 2 months, so we were, you know, it's time. Franklin also received a grant for Stewartsville Road. So, assuming, at some point, the entire stretch from basically, you know, the center of town here all the way to 57 will be paved. Okay. There is a shortfall, as there always is. And if you happen to read my report, bottom line is our estimate, including everything, was at about 217. We asked for 180, and we got 155. So, there's at least a $60,000 shortfall for starters. Between the grant amount and what we project or estimate the cost of the road to be. Obviously, you can potentially use some of that $250,000 to make this up from the bond or this year's capital for roadways. So that's the situation. It's up to you when you want to get started. I mean, you could authorize us to get started tonight, or you can certainly wait. There's no,
What's the grant go for the year?
next year.
Correct me if I'm seeing this wrong. Is not the water line coming down Washington?
The water line, the impacts of the water line are very, very limited, as we've looked at. In the Franklin section of Stewartsville Road, they're significant. But we don't talk about Franklin. In the Greenwich section, and if we have, I can show you maybe a break.
Well,
There's very limited work that's going to happen on Washington Street.
really, I mean, how's the line coming through the center of town if it's not coming down Washington
It's going
Street?
down Smoke's Lane, and it's going to connect. There's about 150 feet or so of Washington Street that's going to be impacted by the water main. In fact, if there's plans here, Paul, I'll show you.
No, you can show me
We'd still be
later.
better off just to put that off as long as we can with that grant, because there's going to be trucks running back and forth and everything else over there. Why wouldn't we just do that last? Why put it up first?
Yep.
from a traffic impact standpoint, okay, well, you can't put it off too long because...
Well, I mean, within the grant thing, but I don't see any rush on it.
Said we got a year, right?
No.
Yeah, so we got a
You
year.
certainly...
Well, I mean, you know you're gonna have trucks going up there for the water line and stuff, so why put a new road in for tandems to ride over it? I'm just asking, I guess.
Well, fair point, and I would agree. There is a benefit, though, and in an intangible sort of way, and that is the DOT likes you to get the grant, do the work, close out the project. You get a point from them.
Can we send them a letter explaining why we're waiting, and then maybe we'll get two
Well, I
points?
don't even know.
No,
That's fair. There's actually, I just wanted to, obviously, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up to discuss.
No, I
So,
understand.
hence my point, if you want to just think about it, we can talk about next month a little more, and we can just wait till next year, no problem.
How long is this section of road that's part of this grant?
You said about 150 feet? Oh, our whole section.
Hold on a second. Brad, let me tell you exactly, I think it's about close to a mile.
It's about 1,500 yards.
Mike, when you say center of town, it's coming from the blinking light
To the blinking light.
to the blinking light.
It's from the Franklin Township boundary all the way down towards what I call the end of Stewartsville Road until you arrive. Sorry.
When you're coming up past the blinking light, you make the light towards Pete, so what road is that?
Willowville.
Willowbrook. If we wanted to say, if we don't, then we would have to add to it to get the whole thing done, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't want to add to it, can we stop that Willow Grove as an option? I don't know. Just throw it out there.
Actually, Stewartsville Road is a stone.
1 mile.
Come on. Start to finish,
Yeah, but he was saying it goes down the light.
Right, yeah.
how long
The actual roadway.
do you think it'll take to get done?
Including
I know,
the
Washington.
design time and the upfront costs and the grant
No,
administration. Is these,
Construction time.
construction time? Most of this will probably be via the co-op, because obviously you get a lot more bang for your buck using the co-op, as opposed to going out for more of a conventional bid.
2 weeks.
Not long, yeah. Now, there's probably not gonna be any guide rail. Maybe we'll do striping. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Not a lot.
It's not even stuck now.
Yeah, but it's always nice to, I think, once these roads get black, it's nice to put it, not just sidelines, but at least the center line.
So the only thing I'll throw out is, I agree about the trucks going, but at the same time, least disruption to parking on that street and school buses and all that stuff, it might be best to get this done before end of summer, so it doesn't interfere too much with traffic patterns and stuff.
What was the shortfall again?
60,000.
62,000 roughly.
This is just a question. Or is there an option to stop it at the Willow Grove intersection? And how much would that save?
We haven't done that analysis, but yes, I believe there is. And what you need to do in a case like that, that's not atypical, because
No, it's not something we want to do,
99
but
times out of 100, there's a shortfall when they give out these grants, because they want to have the pool of money. They want to be able to give more grants to more towns and more projects.
right.
We have to file what's called the scope modification, and typically we have done it so in the past. I don't think many of it's ever come up in agreement, and it's always been approved. Now, there are no guarantees, but that's the mechanism.
Why would we do that, though?
Because there's a $60,000 shortfall.
But wouldn't they just adjust the grant if it's...
Well, that was my question. Would they then,
Oh, no,
they
They
wouldn't?
you still keep the same, no, they don't. That's the beauty of it.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, they still give you the same amount of money. Historically, that's been my experience in the past. You just go from a mile to, let's say, 8
Something to
tenths
think
of a
about.
mile, hypothetically. And you had a $150,000 grant, you still get $150,000, but then you only go 8 tenths of a mile.
It's not ideally what we'd want to do, but, you know, when we're talking budget, we need to find money, this is an option.
It's absolutely, it's a decent chunk of change. It's nothing, nominal nature. So,
Mike, I just have two quick questions for you. One,
sure.
of course, the house on Washington Street, the one that's falling over. Any movement on that at all?
Well,
You mean the house, or?
Yeah, the yellow house.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
The movement.
They're gonna be moving.
I hope there's been no movement, as a matter of fact.
There's been movement on it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Mike, that's the
It's a
whole...
foreclosure, so we're
Right.
waiting for the final, we filed the final judgment February 20th, so we should have it, but that doesn't mean you can't go in there if the thing's gonna fall over
Well,
and
like
stabilize it. We
we-
talked about that, yeah.
last month,
Right.
it's really starting to lean towards
Yes, I just said,
the
listen,
neighbor's
you can
house.
go in and stabilize it, the town can go in there and do that, and then put a lien on the property if it's imminent, and there's a risk of falling over, obviously.
Yeah, and the only other one is, the house on 57 where Dennis Auction is, the big old white house that has the big hole in the side of the house now.
Oh, the one in the back?
No, the one out front on 57, right in front of the barn.
Well, I know some information about that.
Yeah, they got it all marked off.
It's all marked off. I spoke with Jack Templeton of the DCA, because I was approached by a contractor who had some concerns. And they're going out there and put an official, placard on it that says, nobody can enter, this, that, and everything else. And if the owners of the home, right now they want to erect an orange snow fence kind of thing to keep people out, which is fine by the DCA, so long as they're submitting a plan to demolish it with a time frame. If they're not going to give a time frame, then they have to put up a more, I don't want to say a permanent fence, but a taller, the chain link fence type things in sections to keep people from going in there. But the DCA is kind of working on that right now.
Yeah, it's a little big hole in the side of it, yeah.
Yeah, no, the right-hand side of the building collapsed inside it. And, no, so the DCA is kind of actually being a little proactive with some prodding to go look at it and take care of it.
And the only other one I had is, the one up there at 117 Willow Grove, the old farmhouse that, Greenwich,
Oh.
the state and the county just,
Oh, yes.
You all took over?
Okay, I didn't know the address, but...
yeah, it's 117. You seriously have to go take a look at that house, because from the roof to the basement, there's no flooring on the left side of the house. It's a complete hole. And structurally, it's totally unsafe inside there.
You're speaking of the house where they did...
Where I was at the other
that
day.
we spoke
Yeah.
of last
What's
week.
the protocol?
Well, actually, again, that's a DCA. The construction official will go out
Yeah,
there,
they need to
he'll
take a
mark
look
it.
at it, because from the roof all the way down, you can look right into the basement. There's no floor structure in that
It's
house.
117.
Willow Grove Road, the old farmhouse.
All right.
Just like Committee of Being was saying on that one by Dennis Auction, the procedure in the Boca Code is you have to notify the property owner, they got 30 days to secure the property or take it down. If they don't, then the town can go in there and do it and then leave it.
Right.
And that can be putting the chain link fence around it so nobody can get in, or boarding it up, or whatever you have to do to make sure people stay out of there or don't get injured if it goes down. So, yeah, you can see it.
Especially that property with Willow Grove, I mean, if the county, the state, and the Greenwich is taking it over, that house is structurally not safe to even walk in. Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah, but-
That's on Odell.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think the reality is the conveyance of the house to a governmental entity
Right.
is probably not around the corner, unfortunately.
Right, yeah.
They're closed on 2 of the 3 of those farms.
Yeah, that's on the last one that they
Mhm.
can't, they haven't closed on and aren't.
Again, just an FYI, don't go in that house. Trust
And I
me,
drive past that place twice a day, so I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with it.
you don't need to walk in there either.
No. So, well, okay,
Okay. We need a motion to rebid the seating in the least amount of time is legally required. And we want to make that
I'll
motion.
make the motion.
And the landscape.
And landscape, seating and landscape? Okay. So it's, Frank's making a motion to rebid for the seating and landscaping at the park, to be done in the least amount of time legally required.
Just to clarify, it's two separate, right?
Not two completely separate bids.
Two separate bids?
Two separate bids.
Handled in one motion.
Okay, anybody want to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Roll call.
Crum?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes. Mike, do you have anything to discuss about that?
Most of my stuff's in executive. I don't have the deputy treasurer orders. I'll have next meeting. I don't have anything
The Deputy tax assessing?
Deputy tax.
Okay, that was, going to ask.
Anybody have any objection to going to public comment before we go into executive, in case people don't want to hang out for it? Okay. I'll make a motion that we open public comment again before we go into executive session, in case somebody wants to speak and they don't want to sit around and wait for us to get out of executive. Huh?
No.
No. So I'm making a motion, everybody wants to
I'll
say.
second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Anyone wishing to come up and make any statements or comments? Once we go to executive, I don't want you to have to be bored. You coming up, say your name? I know you're a regular, but...
I was asking, if I could get a copy of the new legislation for the setbacks.
The ordinance?
Oh.
You want a copy of the ordinance?
Yeah. John,
Okay, thanks, Mr. Crane. Anybody else? I'll make a motion to close public comment.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so...
I do have a question.
Okay.
So the attorney mentioned some of the deputy tax assessor ordinance. I wasn't here when that was brought up. I had to recuse myself. Can somebody explain that, what that is?
Well, we were, I was talking with Eloise and myself, and, we were talking about potentially having an assistant tax assessor. We have to create a position for anybody else to look at our work. And we were thinking, and this was just out loud thinking, that Bill Kenyak, because Eloise is retiring, Bill Kenyak is a certified tax assessor. And so we were talking about having him be able to come in and work with her, on assessing that and everything else like that. But we have to create a position by ordinance for Bill to be able to officially look at, anybody look at the tax records.
But we have to advertise that position?
Well, when the position becomes available. Right now, Bill would be doing it, assuming we let him, mind you, would be doing it for nothing because he has to stay unpaid for an entire year after serving on committee anyway. And Bill has offered to come in and learn the job for free. But that's only if we decide to, but before we can even have that conversation, we have to have the position created.
Yeah, but it sounds a little backwards. Like, why would we pay him to do an ordinance if we don't know whether or not we want to create the job? Shouldn't we debate that first?
Sure, we can.
When do we say last
But with that
meeting?
being said, though, the longer we debate it, it's part of Eloise's job that's most important is taking place right now. You know, so if we put it off too long, he's going to miss a big opportunity, should we allow that, to get on track on assessing properties and such.
Yeah.
No, you finish first.
No, I was just, personally a little uncomfortable, like, stating that someone is already lined up for it. I just think, well, that this has to be open to the public.
If we were to hire somebody, I would have to agree with you,
But
sure.
who says there's not other people out there that want to volunteer for the same position? If we don't advertise it for an
My
internship
work with me here is that,
No, you could...
I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, that's fine.
And when did we say we're
I'm
going to...
not saying, I'm just saying, everybody needs to discuss
I
that.
was directed to
I
draft
know.
an ordinance, and then you guys were going to debate whether or not you were going to fill it.
Because I'm one person, everybody else has to voice their
Right.
opinion. So I'm just thinking, this is, for any position in the town where I stand is, it's got to be available to everybody, whether it's free or paid, that everybody in the town should have an opportunity at it. to gain the experience or whatever. But I'll leave it up to everybody else. I would like to hear everybody else's opinion on it.
I'm under the same impression.
Well, if we draft the ordinance, do we have to draft it as an unpaid position for the ordinance, or
All you gotta do is create the position, because you can't, if you're considering doing it,
then how would we advertise that if we're going to put it in for free? I guess that's my question. How would we
You
advertise?
would say for no pay, you're looking to have some, because I guess.
It's an
either way,
internship
if the
program.
person's
Yeah, that's
retiring,
how it so.
if she's retiring at the end of the year, you're gonna wanna find somebody that's still, you know.
Like, does it have to be advertised?
I think you have to advertise. I think it's a good policy to advertise every, if it's $100 a year, because you know what it is, somebody could come in and say, oh, you know, that job's $100 a year, I would have applied for it if I'd known about it. So
Yeah.
it's always, I think, wise policy to advertise. I mean, ultimately, you guys interview and pick who you're gonna hire, but it just makes sense to do it, I think, for the policy.
I was just trying to be proactive to get the ball rolling, but, you know, if you want to have further discussion on it, that's fine.
Like I said, I'm just one
Well, I guess the
person.
question is
I don't know what Brad's...
do you want to create the position to even advertise for it, I guess is the first question, is how, what I'm understanding, right? Do you even want to do the ordinance to advertise it?
I don't know, I would like to hear from Eloise whether or not this is a needed position or not. Have you been approached about this at all, Eloise, about this?
I've been involved in some of the discussions, yes.
Is this something that's needed in order to fill your position?
There are other certified tax assessors out there who qualified. So if you wanted somebody who lives in the municipality, there's not that many assessors that are certified in the town. I can't think of another, but there might be somebody. So it'd be somebody to shadow me and learn the job. But I will be the first one to say, I am not a teacher. I'm one of those people that goes out in the field, does the thing. Let's give it a shot.
Not that it does, but does this fall under a nepotism thing?
Well, I think we're putting, well, first of all, are we going too far with the discussion on this in public, since you're actually naming names?
Yeah, it's really,
We're at the point where names and names, so we...
Well, it was brought up in public meeting last time, and it was just brought up.
Well,
I think you gotta answer the question whether or not
you want to create the position first.
Yeah, you do have my opinion is, but I'm just going to take anyone out of it, so no names involved. I mean, I'd like to understand the need.
Right.
That's really what to create a new position that we've never had, there needs to be a need. Is there,
You know, we're gonna create
we have a need
and then get
to
rid of it?
build? And that's the first question, so.
And let me ask this, could we create the position, advertise it, that the current tax assessor may be retiring, and we're looking for any licensed people interested in the position to do it free in a learning curve to be considered later or something? I mean, can you put those type of provisions in?
But does a licensed person need a learning curve? And I think this is...
Just to me, what is?
Yeah, well, you want to say?
One thing is, people can get a license for things, but doesn't mean that they're fluent in it or, there's a lot to know about a job. And you never know if you really get into it. I think it's part of all that personal experiences that way. You can pass the book knowledge, but the in-the-field knowledge is very important. Again, there are certified tax assessors out there.
That have been in the field.
Is that-
That have been in the field, though,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's whether you want somebody who knows the municipality and while I'm here, that I can teach them, that's up to you. I mean, you can make the position and not fill it. I mean, it could always be there. Maybe get another really part-time assessor who needs help. I'll just throw those ideas out there.
It's almost like an internship position, and then you're creating a whole new position.
Well, I guess you just want to wait until a vacancy occurs for the assessor and then address it. Is that what you'd rather do? I mean, I think what Paul's proposing is trying to get somebody in here and learn the position. So
Right, exactly,
you get
right.
A seamless transition.
And eventually, when Eloise retires, we have to put out for the job. You know, it's not that it's anybody's given, it has to go out through all the proper channels.
What, you retiring at the end of the year? Is that,
My goal is December 1st. See how close I get to that.
so we could hire someone the month beforehand, let's say, to work with you, if we wanted to. It's another option. Brett, you don't think you're
We
finished?
do nothing, we'll move on. We might-
I know, he was, I think he was.
No, I just would like to understand the need.
All right, so let's just table it for right now.
Okay.
Okay, we ready for executive then? I want to make a motion to go in executive session for the purpose of discussing litigation, Greenwich and Lopakon versus Phillipsburg regarding the sewer, some tax appeals, some attorney-client privilege information, briefing by the chief of police for the school security, and contract negotiations on a shared service agreement with the school district. And contractual with the park.
And one personnel contractual matter.
And one personnel contractual matter. We got everything?
I think that's it.
Okay. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. We're looking for a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mike, want to do your little spiel?
Sure, we're here for executive session at 9:44 PM, where we discussed a number of matters. First were litigation matters dealing with Greenwich and Lopakon versus Phillipsburg. Second, tax appeals dealing with Inland Western. Next, attorney-client privilege matters dealing with an update on the vacant property registration and school security matters. Then we had contract negotiations, an update on the shared services with Greenwich Township School District. We also had a personnel contractual matter, and we also had a contractual attorney-client privilege matter dealing with Sampson change orders. No official action was taken. Copies of these minutes will be available at such time as the committee determines there is no harm to the public interest.
Okay, I'm making a motion to authorize a tax appeal settlement as we discussed in executive session.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Crone,
Yes?
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Marqueta, yes.
Yes.
You forgot already, Kim?
I just,
I'm looking for a motion to authorize the township attorney to take action as discussed in executive session and authorizing the mayor to sign such settlement as discussed in executive session. You want to make that motion?
This is that I have to...
Yeah. So,
Are you making it?
no, I'm asking for somebody to make
I'll
it.
make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Crone,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Yes.
Recused.
Yes. Brad, I think you have a motion you wanted to make regarding the park?
Yeah, related to Thomas Stewart Park, motion to authorize payment to Sampson Concrete, invoice number 004 in the amount of $80,580.50.
I'll second. Roll call?
Crone,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer, Marqueta.
Yes.
Yes.
Abstained.
I'll make a motion to authorize the township engineer to respond to the change order request regarding Thomas Stewart Park, consistent with the letter he presented regarding the change orders.
Letter of 313.
Yes, 313. I made the motion. Anybody want to
Second.
Roll call.
Crone,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Spencer,
Dean.
Marqueta.
Yes.
Marson.
Yes. Does anybody really have any internal business for DPW
Well,
recreation?
I just wanted to, it's real quick, I wanted to make sure that we're still thinking that this year we want to have the DPW and Parks and Recreation, two numbers, so that we know what we're spending DPW, road and parks and such. That's all, just
Okay.
informational for the homeowners, for the residents, because at some point we are going to have, even though it'll still be under DPW, it'll still be two things, just so that we have a breakdown.
Yeah, I do have a little.
You know, I know Joe and I have talked about it. If some of it falls to Kathleen a little bit too, about just trying to keep an idea of, you know, what we're spending on parks.
Into a
Pardon?
park section?
Yeah, right.
on
Yeah,
Road?
I think you brought that up one night, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
What, am I supposed to be taking any action on historical stuff yet?
No, because we gotta figure out what they're doing isn't correct, but I think we want to just get our ducks in a row so we...
What's the township phone lines item? We'll put that on.
That was a question I had brought up last month, and I know there was some back and forth on this. So the question I had was, we have Service Electric that provides, I know the internet, but they also provide phones. And at the same time, we're paying Verizon for the two numbers, and we're also paying AT&T for two numbers. So the AT&T, I think, is the fax lines, and I was like, can we have Service Electric just be part of that service they provide us the fax numbers? And then
Service Electric, do they do long distance?
They have a bundle package, but it goes through Verizon.
But I don't think we have, because I know we have Service Electric for the phones, but I don't know if we have like the long distance.
I have Service Electric at home.
And they do long distance, and I saw on the bill that there were some long distance calls that they had.
Like for residential,
Build out separately.
they give you 30 minutes a month free long distance.
I just wanted to explore, like, do we need the two separate lines for
Yeah.
AT&T? Do we need two separate lines for Verizon? Because that's like $165 a month that we're paying Verizon and AT&T. If we can just absorb that into Service Electric, you know, you save, $1,500 a year just on phones. So we just need to make a call to Service Electric and find out what, if they can provide lines without additional charge for fax machines, and then those main numbers. Now, I know there's the police number and the main office number, but I just don't understand why we're paying Verizon when I thought Service Electric was providing that service. So I'm just confused on that one.
Yeah, but like with Service Electric, like, Bob said, it's a bundle package where...
I'm sure it's only be one line in that bundle, and like additional lines, I'm sure there's an additional fee,
We
but
have like 15 months.
But like, what are we paying them for?
Well, I know the one had 1054 on it, and 1054 is the police line.
Non-emergency line.
Yeah, it's the non-emergency line.
That goes to the
And that
county.
And that was on Verizon, 1054.
I thought it was a 1010. Is it 454-1010?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a non-emergency number, yeah.
1054 is too.
oh, that's right. That goes to the county.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe we don't have this Service Electric option
Yeah.
there.
That's a county phone line.
That goes out for the communication center in Franklin Township.
Yeah, the old non-emergency lines for all the
That's
police
right.
departments around
That
here.
rings
That's
there.
why I don't believe
That doesn't
it.
even ring here.
And the 0909, even if you see 0909, they're bundled together, that's just listed as like the main number. But because we have that through Service Electric, it's, all these numbers that got bundled all in together.
Didn't Bill bring this up a while ago? About
Yeah, he was
phone
looking
lines?
into some,
And what it came down to is it came down to the bundle packages with the bundles that we had, and then the cell phones that we had, like in the police cars, each air card that's in the computer system has its own
has its
cell
own
phone
number.
number.
Yeah.
So that makes it look like we have a bunch of more numbers with it, and that's what we got charged with, because Verizon was carrying the service for that.
Yeah, that's a separate one, the
Right.
wireless, but the...
And I think isn't there some sort of line or something they have with the state?
That's for the TAC,
Yeah.
the TAC.
Oh, the tax line, yeah.
And I think
P1.
that's not through, that's on Verizon.
That's on
not through
Verizon.
Service
Yeah, that might be
Electric.
too, yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff down in the police department that's not part of when we did the Service Electric phone lines and things. Now,
Yeah.
I know the fax
So-
machine has AT&T as the long distance, because it's majority of the calls that go out with fax line, unless it's really somewhat long distance. So that we've had on there for years. But one of the things I know, Kathleen is now working on getting a new postage machine because the lease is up. And I had Apex come in and run the jack, so that's going to be going through the internet. So it's all, going to be going through the internet. But the same thing's going to end up happening eventually with the fax machine.
Yeah, it should go through.
Do it away.
Yeah.
So I had him drop an additional spare line right there for the fax machine. So when the day comes that we get the fax machine here, and you use, it's not a phone line, and we can do away with that and go right to the
Yeah.
internet
To
line.
the internet line.
Okay.
Any new business? Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Kathleen, I
Today's
saw
Tuesday
though that
night
you
for budget meeting.
recharge
Tomorrow night?
the postage machine. Will they be able to, when the new one comes, take that out and swap it around? Okay.